right, here we go again.
This takes 3?
Take 3, yeah. The cat's not going entirely crazy this time, which is nice.
Well, now that you said that, she's going to.
Oh yeah, she's gonna go bonkers. Alright, so, we've already asked how everybody's doing, but, then the cat went crazy, and Tom wasn't here for that. Charles is apparently trying to get us all to believe that Fish Slapping Day is a thing in the GPPF.
I'd believe it.
I'm gonna go with okay.
No.
I've heard weirder things in here.
So, who wants to do recap today?
I can do some.
Alright, go for it.
Alright, so, I believe the first thing we did was, go to the library, try and get, everybody set up with library cards.
Correct.
Then I believe we're looking for some adventures. We turned down the, werewolf one, as I strategically, tried to avoid, that after my note. We decided not to do the super hard one. And we went to the board to look what else we could do.
Okay.
I was the first person who wanted to go to the library to get a library card.
What else happened after that, during that trip to the library?
Stuff with the arrow.
Someone pulled
James.
an entire longbow out of a book.
No,
Hardcore
that
did.
did not happen. I took it into the library with me, if you will remember.
Oh yeah, that's
Our
right. My
course
face
called
is
it out.
way too
Weren't
far
paying
into that
attention.
sketchbook.
And then we had to go, and there were the dryads that were trying to help us figure out, I think, where it came from or something about it. And they had to take over Harcourt's mind, something like that.
Not quite.
Usual.
They had
Something
to talk
like
to
that.
the bow.
Yes.
I mean, your mind, the bow,
Alright, so Zug and Pax, I'm going to give you 35 experience each for that recap, because both of you are missing pieces from the recap, and I'm going to have to fill in some of those missing details. Unless somebody else can fill in some of the missing details.
Missing details.
Still
I signed a non-disclosure agreement, so I can't tell you.
Well, that is something that might happen in Akun-san. That is not something that happened last session.
Didn't
So-
you bring the bow to the dryads?
That was already sort of explained. Yeah.
Oh.
So the
And it's
dryads,
recycling.
the dryads identified how to use the bow. Harcourt realized that he doesn't know Kandor's last name, and so he cannot properly and effectively use the bow. That was when, as Tom explained, you went to back to the Famhands building, got asked heavily to do that the transport mission, declined it, and then you went to Finest Grapes for your next mission, and informed them that you were interested in trying to identify why it is these shipments of water have been canceled from the Stonefist family, and the company there, which did not have a name last week, but now does, Premier Water. You guys should be able to see those two locations. Premier Water. You guys should be able to see those two locations on the map.
You said 35 XP, right?
35 XP each.
1,000.
Nope,
1,000.
definitely not 1,000.
I see Finest Grapes. What's the other one?
Premier Water. That should be over in the Stonefist territory.
It's covered up by
I'll
names.
ping it here.
maybe. Oh, yeah, I see it now.
All right, I'm trying to remember what our plan was. I think we were going to interview the
We interviewed both the Blades and Stonefist. One accuses the other.
and we were going to interview the Stonefist, the guy who grades the water or something like that.
So there were a couple of different things that you guys had discovered. One, there was another company that was working with that had suddenly become the biggest competitor to Premier Water.
Yeah, we were gonna talk to the guy who gave them their water ranking or whatever, though, right?
That was one of the things you guys had discussed. Yes.
Okay, and then
The
we
hum-
also wanted to go check out the dead bodies and the ambush area.
Yes. Okay.
The human geologist. That was.
Yep.
We gotta talk to that guy. We have his business card.
Indeed. Do you have his name offhand? I misplaced the name.
No, you did not give us a name.
Okay. All right. So
You
we're
just
gonna
said you gave us a business card. That's all we got.
create his name real quick.
Bob.
Let's see what we get here.
Geologist.
No. Let's give him a nice one of those.
Human.
He is Ingen. Ingen Stonefist. INGUNN. Alright, so you guys head over to Ingen. Ingen is in the Stonefist Ministry of Trade building. When you arrive at the Ministry of Trade building, the first thing that you'll notice about the building is of all the buildings in this all the buildings in this area, most of the buildings in the Stonefist area are built with very somebody spent a lot of time in decorating the homes and the buildings to all have a very unique style. But when you come up to the Ministry of Trade building, it is built as plain as can be built. It's a large, almost rectangular structure with just a flat roof across the top. There are very minimal windows on the building, and what windows there are have bars across them. One might easily mistake this for a dungeon that's been lifted out of the ground and planted on surface level, as opposed to being a building where business is conducted. Inside, there are a large number of people standing in a laundry list of different lines, with a single person off to the left that greets you when you come in with a bit of a, "What are you here for?" What are you gonna answer?
We're here to see the geologist, right?
Yes, Ingham Stonefist, according to this business card I'm holding right here.
What's your business with Ingen?
We need to discuss him on, let's see, what was it? The position of the new stream is taken over.
I gotta go get the door. Hold on. There's gonna be a coconut there.
Time to blow.
Hello.
No, everybody's running for the coconut.
Thank you.
Hi, Wayne.
You have a new lock. Is that the same key or you changed the key on me?
The back door is the same key. This is an app.
If you want to break
Yeah.
it
Let Steve put
Break
it
it.
in.
Of course
Yep.
you did.
with
Fancy,
paint,
fancy,
It's a
fancy.
smart lock.
Oh, I know. He's very special.
use the smart lock out front.
Hi, Wayne. Say hi to the kiddos for me.
Bye, Steve.
Bye.
Bet you
Put it
got
in the
some
fridge.
firm fish slap.
Not in the top drawer?
See when you put it in the fridge.
I put it on the counter. I didn't know if you'd want to eat it now or later.
Couldn't remember if it was top of
All right. So you want to meet with Ingen. So what day do you want to do that?
day.
Yeah,
We
it-
have to make it a long-term.
So you're gonna need Form 45. If you go over to that desk over there, you grab Form 45, fill it out, take it to line 17, and you can set an appointment to meet with Ingen.
And 17.
Yep.
And 17. Line 17.
No filling out the form in line. You gotta have the form filled out before you get in the line.
Gotta have the form filled out first. And whose name do we put on line 17?
No, you're gonna stand in line 17 with Form
You
45.
get to stand in line 17 with Form 45, where we put a name in there. Ingham Stonefist.
Where do we get Form 45 at? Is there a kiosk?
The desk over there.
That desk. That desk or that desk?
That desk. The one over there.
That one? That one.
That one. Yes, that one.
No, that one.
Sir, you're holding up the line. I'm gonna need you to go get your
As
desk,
soon
your
as
form.
I figure out which desk I gotta go to and which line,
That desk right over
and
there.
Which form I've gotta write the
I
line.
knew they should have labeled the desks. I tell them every time, you gotta label the desks. The people get very confused very easily.
Okay, because Charles said we could just come down here and talk to Ingo.
Who's Charles? I don't know any Charles.
You don't know any Charles?
I don't know any Charles.
What's your name? I'm gonna put that down on line 17.
My name's Jamie.
Jamie. Is that spelled with a capital Q?
What? There's no Q in Jamie.
So
Jaimie.
QRZTMY.
Sir, you're holding up the line.
I know, at Form 45.
I'm gonna have to get security if you don't go get Form 45 and get to
That's
your
what I'm
post.
trying to figure out.
It's at that
There it
table over there. Hey, Jimmy. Jimmy, come here.
Who's Jimmy?
A very big guy in a chain shirt starts moving in your direction.
Is his name spelled with...
Jimmy's gonna get you all sorted out. What are they looking for? He's looking for Form 45.
Actually, we're looking for Ingram Stonefist.
If she says you're
He
looking...
has Form 45. I
If
will
she
take it from
says
him
you're
gladly.
looking for Form 45, you're either looking for Form 45 or you're looking to leave. Which is it?
You could ask my lawyer, which I'm trying to do.
Alright, I'm gonna go fill out the form.
Okay. Alright, give me a knowledge law to fill out the form.
Oh, God.
Is there a form so I can make myself an LLC?
There is actually a form if you want to make yourself a limited liability company.
Alright, I critted.
Yeah, you do an excellent job on the form. In fact, doing so on the form will not benefit you in any way whatsoever.
Nice.
But you get through the line. There is...
Out of form is in and of itself a reward, Steve.
It is. Especially with that many ranks in knowledge law. So you get through the line, and you get up to the counter after about an hour and a half of waiting. You set the form down on the counter. The person takes the form, reads over it. You've made no mistakes.
Yeah.
You made, like, not one. I've been sending people back all day to fill it back out. All right, well, and you wanted to meet with Ingun?
Yep.
She puts the form down for a second and reaches over and starts moving her fingers in the air in front of a small box. You have 3 options available for time. There's no Q in Jamie.
Alright, guys, break out the new calendar that was just posted.
So, you can meet...
Wait.
You can meet with Ingun either tomorrow afternoon at Second Sun's Dawn, or you can meet with him on the 12th at Third Sun's Dawn, or you can meet with him on the 13th at First Sunset.
We probably want to just meet him tomorrow, right, guys?
Yeah, as soon as possible, I would
Sure.
think.
Then we'll find some stuff to do locally for the night or whatever.
Alright, so you're taking the meeting with him at Second Sun's Dawn. All right, you're all in. So when you come in next, you're gonna need to have this filled out. She hands you another form.
Right.
You'll let the person know. You'll show him the form, and they'll tell you exactly where to go from there.
Can the GM consider letting someone have editing privileges to help with spelling and grammar?
Where did I screw up?
You didn't put a Q in Jamie.
Her FOM, as well as inconsistent capitalization bothers us.
No, if it's bothering her, don't let her.
I will allow that pending I have to have people's Google accounts linked to it.
Okay. Well, mine is unicorn@gmail.com, so.
Doxed.
And Michelle's is coughcough@gmail.com.
No.
Mm.
I'm sorry.
Alright.
Which one do you want?
So what do the 5 of you want to do in the meantime?
We didn't have a question.
Questions happen at the beginning of each day. You're still towards the end of of today.
That's confusing. Why didn't we end the day?
You did not end the day because when we had left off, you guys were getting ready to go meet Ingen. Or at
But
least
I thought each session was one day.
each session is not one day. You guys are actually progressing technically slower than one session per day, except that one session where you guys actually managed to do a day and a quarter in one day.
I thought we'd done a day every session because we always start out with the questions.
Yes, you guys so far have done a session.
Until now, and now we're
Yes.
slow.
Yes, but you guys have been slowing down gradually.
Hey, speak for yourself. My educational level, on par. I got news. I am not slow.
But yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna look at the form, see if I'm supposed to fill it out now or fill it out tomorrow right before the meeting.
It should be filled out prior to the meeting. So whenever you want to do it, as long as it's done before you show up, like you have to show them the filled out form in order to be able to have your meeting.
Okay, I can fill it out right now though.
Yes, give me a knowledge law as well. Okay, you do notice that this does say that you need to also be here about a half hour before.
Okay. Okay, cool.
They claim it's for form processing. Alright. So what do the rest of you want to do?
Yeah, so well, the other place we're gonna investigate, that's fairly far away. Like the ambush point and the possible bodies.
So you can go investigate either one of those. So the ambush point the ambush point would be where possibly there are still bodies.
Yeah, would that be too far away to get to?
No, you could theoretically walk that way on your way back to the Famhands building, because you'd have to walk through Blade territory to get there.
Okay. So that might be a possibility then.
Okay.
Somebody else has a better idea.
I want a snack. What's funny?
It's just funny that Pax wants a snack again.
Are there like food stalls or anything like that?
Yeah, you can pass by periodically any number of places that you could grab something to eat. There's all sorts of like small shops or like small stations where people are selling various things. Right now you're in Stonefist territory, so you could buy like all the water you could ever imagine that's not magical water.
Yeah, I mean, I love regular water, so I'm definitely getting some of that.
Okay. Are you gonna look for cleaner water? Or are you looking for just any old water that you can find that isn't magic?
I mean, I'll check the price differences.
Okay, so base price for non-magical water for about a gallon is 5 silver pieces. When you get into the finer water, it's kind of paying different amounts. and each one will improve the taste, and higher quality ones are required to create certain things.
All right. What about a 1 gold gallon water?
So, 1 gold a gallon water is water that most people will likely never have tasted. Odds are, outside of here, if you had a license to sell, you could probably sell this for about 2 gold. And it's much, much better than, like, it doesn't have that weird kind of, like, tingly taste that magic water has. It's very clean, it's very, like, soft on the palate. And there's a little less of the like dirty kind of stonish taste to it.
Are they able to tell?
Wait, this isn't the same water because they're selling water to Stonefist at 20 per gallon.
Right.
10 per gallon.
That is higher end water. Who am I echoing on, by the way?
Not me.
Nope.
It was like not there, and then it all of a sudden started happening. Okay, I don't know what happened. It was just temporary. So the water that you're getting for Stonefist is being used specifically as part of a wine recipe. And that's why you're paying more. Tom's just buying water off the street.
Are they able to tell me like exactly where the 1 gold piece of water came from?
Yeah, so each place will give you, each place has a stamp, a name stamped on the location of where the water has come from. And each one of them has a special seal placed on the top that you actually have to peel off to remove, and doing so causes like the seal to actually fall to pieces.
Okay, cool. I'll offer my party members each a shot of my water.
Does anyone want to try his water?
I'll take a shot of water.
I guess. It's not a snack, though.
No, it doesn't taste anything like alcohol.
I start talking about a snack, and you guys start talking about water, and I realize you don't know what a snack means.
Okay, so Pax, trying this water, though, for you, who's, like, I guess you've bathed in the aqueduct, so you've tasted this form of water, but it's usually a lot more dirty to you.
Dirty?
But this is much cleaner than the water that you've ever drank. Harcourt, to you don't get why you just paid the gold for this water. It tastes like the water you've had from basically any stream you've ever tasted water from. Maybe a little bit more
water.
stone.
Little less alcohol-y than I prefer.
Anybody else trying it?
I tried it. What did it taste like to me?
So I said it's less dirty than the non-magic water you're used to drinking.
I'll try it.
Okay. So for you, this is a significant difference in flavor than what you're used to. Your character has basically spent most of their life in House Rurik drinking magic water. There's so much magic flowing around House Rurik that you've never been in a situation where like you've needed to have like a break from magic long enough to sort of like get your life back in order. Magic is just perpetually everywhere, so you're constantly soaking in it. Tasting this water, so magic water has a very distinct kind of it's like the sensation your tongue gets when you drink carbonated water, but without there actually being like the bubbles to go along with it. So there's just like a kind of poppy, kind of like almost like poked at sensation on your tongue. Whereas this, I mean, this is like drinking regular spring water. It's much cleaner. There's no like, or it's a little bit dirtier, but there's none of that sensation. All right, so where do you guys? So you also wanted to pick up a snack, Pax? What did you want to pick up?
Anything that like goblins really like maybe like a tarantula?
It sounds perfect.
No
Have some
tarantulas.
snacks. Like, maybe I should have a food stall.
There you go. Maybe that can be one of your long-term goals.
Or snack packs.
I'm looking for a tarantula snack.
There are no
I don't
tarantulas.
carry those at my stall. My stall is vegetarian.
I don't even know what that means, Harcourt.
Because it's not to you.
Oh.
What?
So what are you picking up?
I want a free snack, so ideally some fruit or vegetable that I can pick.
Not a single person is willing to give you free snacks.
No, I mean like that is just like in the nature.
Nope. There is no nature here. There are a couple of trees here and there, but they are not fruit-bearing trees.
Do they have leaves?
They do have leaves.
Are the leaves edible?
You don't know unless you try them. Or unless you make a knowledge nature.
Okay, hold on.
Okay? Okay, you find you pass by a couple of trees that you know you could probably eat the leaves of.
But I wanted to know if they're tasty or not.
I mean, they're leaves from a tree. They taste
That
like
sounds
leaves from a
kinda
tree.
refreshing. I'll have some.
Okay, Tom, as your party member is doing this, give me a knowledge law.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, you reach up and you peel the leaves off the tree, and within seconds, the party is surrounded by 3 guards. Excuse me, is that your tree, miss?
Oh, I was just having a snack.
Is that your tree, miss?
I think trees belong to everybody.
They do not. Do you see that building right there? That tree belongs to that person.
Oh, okay.
See, every tree here belongs to somebody. And if you're not that somebody, don't damage their property. I know it's hard for you to understand.
Were they wanting to eat the leaves?
They're wanting to keep their trees healthy.
Yeah, I'm helping trim it.
You didn't trim it, you ripped leaves off the tree.
Yeah, it's called pruning. I think you need some more plant education.
They have gardeners for that, miss. I'm gonna have to ask that you not touch anyone else's property while you're here.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I said yes.
No, I
Alright.
think she said we'll see. I thought I heard we'll see.
And who are you?
Not her.
He's my buddy. He's my manager, actually.
Well, I'm gonna need your manager then to keep an eye on you.
Okay.
He's not really good at managing
Who's I?
things, is he?
The guards step away. You can continue on. So you're passing through Blade territory to take a look at where the last incident occurred?
Yep.
Okay. So as it stands right now, you're not 100% sure where the last incident occurred. He gave you some details, but he also said you should probably talk to the guys up at the that were responsible for the delivery to give you details on where that had occurred.
Okay, yeah, we should head over to there then instead.
Okay. So you make your way over to the Premier Water Building. That basically leads you to the edge of the caldera. And when you arrive, there's like a large scaffolding with stairs that run up the side of the caldera walls. And you can see at the top there's a big sign for the Premier Water Company. So you guys can make your way up the stairs.
Alright, do they have free water samples or anything here?
Oh my gosh, he's so greedy.
When you get in, the first thing that happens is there is the door is a solid metal door with a frosted window pane on it with the Premier Water logo emblazoned upon it. And there is a guard standing at the door. Can I help you? You got your work badge? You don't look like employees.
No, we were sent by, the guys, what was the dude's name?
Charles H. Stone.
Yeah, to talk to a few people about a situation.
And which situation are you here to talk about?
The,
Loss of water.
yeah.
To what company?
Finest Grapes.
He reaches over and unlocks the door with a key and then opens up the door. You may proceed in. Speak to the person at the desk. They'll get the team for you that was part of that activity.
Sounds good.
Once you step in, you do notice they have very tiny little shot glasses on the counter of water. The water is like that full, and you are allowed to take one free sample.
All right, I'm trying it. Comparing it to my 1 gold piece water that I had earlier.
This water is the best water you've ever had.
Just for Zug or for all of us?
If each of you taste it, each of you will agree that this is easily the best water that you've had.
No, I'm full up. I've had a full shot of water today. I don't think I could drink any more. I might get dry.
There is a slight, like, kind of stonish taste to it, but the stone taste doesn't, it's not overwhelming. It's just enough to remind you that you're drinking water that comes fresh from the mountain, but not like it's been, like, steeping in a cauldron of stone for too long. Like, it's kind of rolling over the stones. You kind of get that smell that you first smell, like when you smell clean river water, and but it has a taste much cleaner than what river water would normally taste like.
I'm gonna appraise it.
Okay. Okay. You would know that this is worth easily double what Finest Grapes is paying for it in their deliveries.
Okay. But so I think though that it might be the exact type of water
Yeah.
that Finest Grapes is going after.
It is most likely because in order for Finest Grapes to make the wine that they're making, they would need this kind of water as part of the cleaning process for the grapes. Now they can reuse this water a number of times in that cleaning process, but over time they are going to have to keep swapping out the water. So they're going to have to get these regular shipments, and otherwise their production's going to cut pretty substantially. And the deal that they have right now is really good for them to keep their price point fairly low. But it all adds up based on what you know about like the cost of the product one company is selling versus what Premier Water is offering.
Okay.
After you explain to the person at the front desk what you're doing, a couple of guards and a caravan escort come walking into the room. You got questions about the deliveries?
Yeah, we were looking to find the exact point that it was ambushed at last. Because we wanted to go check out that area.
We can take you up the road there. That should be easy enough. I can't really give it to you exactly on a map. We don't really track it that way. We just kind of take the road paths. I'm not really I'm not into the, what do you call the map thing? Cartomancy? I don't know. Something like that. But I suppose I could probably make some time to walk you down there. The three of us could.
Right. And what are these guys' exact positions in the company?
So the two of the guys. So the two guys that are guardsmen they're caravan. They are caravan guards. They would have walked along with the caravan, making sure that it wouldn't be assaulted. Basically, making sure proper delivery occurs. The third person is the caravan escort. He basically works on the planning and the direction of where the caravan needs to go and rerouting if something should happen. So if this were, that's kind of your logistics guy in this kind of circumstance.
Okay, and the guys who died, like what position were they and how many?
So there were a few guys that died. They were all caravan. They were all caravan guards that died, and one caravan escort.
And do we know exactly how many died?
They estimate that it was about 5 or 6 people. They can't identify whether or not. So they explain to you. One of them, we're not sure if he died or if he just deserted. He ran during the attack, and we couldn't find him afterwards. It's possible that they may have hunted him down, but we're not entirely certain. We checked in with his family, but he's not really attached well to his family. He's kind of had a rough life.
Did he have any distinguishing features?
I don't know what you'd consider distinguishing.
Well, anything we could tell him apart from any other person?
Not really, probably without a picture.
Okay.
But,
you guys have a picture? Like, do you take, employee photos or anything like that?
No, you kind of got to get to know people around here before you get in. Like, there's the IDs, but the IDs are magibonded, so it's not like you're gonna be able to get through. The photo would really just be kind of a redundant thing, If once you got something that's magibonded, it's not like somebody can take that from you and bring it anywhere else. It's gonna show back up on you after a couple of minutes. It doesn't really work out well. Somebody have to be in real close proximity of you to get in the building. So we don't really keep photos.
And the ID is something that they'd have on their person, or it is them?
It's on their person. So he reaches in and he pulls out his little identification card. It's just like a little cut rectangular piece of cardboard, but it glows very softly with the color. And he reaches out and he hands it to you. Go ahead and take it.
All right. Cool. Y'all spellcraft it.
Okay. Do you look away from it?
Well, I would at some point, but I probably...
Okay. The minute you look away from it, it's gone.
Okay.
And he shows it to you again in his hand. See, magibonding.
Okay.
And he puts it back in his pocket. Well, let's go ahead and take you down that way. I should warn you, we believe it could be dangerous out that way, but we should be able to take care of you. So they lead you down.
Well, do we, what's gonna make it dangerous? Just,
we got jumped there. I assume we'll get jumped again. I'm assuming they probably just don't like us.
Okay, gotcha.
Alright, so you guys head on from Premier Water. And then up here, basically it's kind of a straight shot. You follow along the waterway, and then from the waterway you're heading straight north to Finest Grapes. Right about here... Let's see if I can get it to ping. Come on. Ping! Right about here is where the incident occurred.
So, right where the territories, meet each other, pretty much?
Yeah, not too far off of where the territories meet each other. You notice... There you go. So as you're looking around Harcourt, you notice that, the distance here is pretty good if you were trying to make sure that, you're far enough out that the Stonefist guards wouldn't be able to hear anything if, a fight broke out. but it's also far enough the other way that it's likely guard patrols don't go out this far for the Blade family either. So right about here is where this managed to happen. There were a couple of them on the rooftops over there, and there, and there. I'll show you the layout here. One sec. Let me transition over to it real quick.
About how many guys, John?
I'd say it was like in the realm of... hang on, I gotta make sure I do this right. I have to say it was around the area of about 20 people, but things happened pretty quick, so we didn't really get a good look on it. You know, hard to count when you're just trying to keep yourself from dying.
And I'm looking, did the bodies, like, get cleaned up or disappear or whatever? No bodies?
Hang on one sec. I want to get you to the...
Yep.
area so I can show you what it looks like. Okay, so you guys should see the area here. Can you guys all see it?
Yeah.
Is anybody
I'm still
not
on the
able
map.
to? Huh? You're still on the
I'm
map?
still on the map.
Alright, sometimes this happens. Move people over. Too.
I'm on the map as well.
Did that move you?
Oh. Yes.
Okay. Some people are... Oh, okay, I see what it is.
We're on a building?
Right now, I'm putting you there for right now, just so you can see the area.
Oh, okay.
So they pointed to the rooftops up here, up here, and up here were where the shots came from the roofs, and then a bunch of people came out from the alleyways around the area. It looks like somebody's probably cleaned up the bodies, though. Because there would have been some of them here and there. I assume probably whoever did it.
Okay, are these houses inhabited by people, or are they abandoned?
Many of these houses do look like they have people in them. One of them is actually a shop that does seem to be closed, though.
What time of day is it? Should a shop be closed at this time?
It's getting to be pretty late in the evening. You guys have been traveling around quite a bit and done quite a lot. So the sun is basically about the time you got here. The last sun was starting to set.
I say we head back to Famhand territory, and we'll come back here tomorrow and
Yeah, now that we know where it's at.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go after our meeting with the other guy.
Alright, so while you are making that decision...
Good morning, boss.
One second here. Sorry, I forgot I did these in separate windows now. Like a smart way to do this. Ooh, that is not going to end up hitting on anybody. So, Harcourt, you see... Give me a perception real quick, actually, as this is happening.
Apparently not.
Okay. So you hear, like, the sound of something, like, flick nearby, but you don't, you see no signs of where it came from. Or see anything around the area at all. Do you want to investigate? Do you want to, or do you want to keep going?
Just Harcourt, like, potentially heard something?
It was within his range and fairly silent, so each of you can give me a check, but it's not likely you're going to be able to perceive it. Okay. So yeah, none of you would have heard it.
Yeah, guys, it's getting dark, and we don't know this area, so I don't want to hang around because I'm getting bad vibes.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything, so.
Yep.
Are you hinting to us that you're getting bad vibes? Is that like something you're openly saying?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure.
Okay, so you guys head back. Everybody reset to the city map, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Transition the music back. All right, so yeah, then you guys are heading back to your homes for the night.
Yep.
Okay.
How late is it?
It is, by the time you'll get back at this point, it will be like about an hour or two before most of you would go to bed.
Wonder if I should do a performance. How many are left in my contract, Harcourt?
I believe you did all 3?
Yeah, you're good up for the week.
Okay.
You're done for the week.
But I could get a free drink and tips, maybe.
Maybe.
Do you want to come for a drink?
No.
Ah, you're that tired, huh?
No. I've got some thinking to do.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go home.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything before bed?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh.
All right then. So here I am going to. There's a couple of things I need to know. I need to have happen. One of them, I'm sure you already know is coming, Whitney.
Do I?
Yeah.
We'll just save.
How are you handling this evening before going to bed? You want to do some more meditation or?
Sure.
Okay.
Is there a meditation roll you want me to do?
No. That just determines what could potentially happen out of your upcoming will save. Go ahead and give me a will.
You want me to do will save?
Give me a will save.
Okay, you gotta be explicit, sir.
If I say the words will save, I expect to see a will save. Otherwise,
No,
you're deliberately failing.
upcoming.
You can choose to deliberately fail it if you want.
Hold on. I always forget where it is.
Underneath your strength, dexterity, etc. All right. So this time you focus in really deeply to it, taking a few deep breaths, and you feel that feeling start to happen again. You're very stressed, very angry. You wish that you could have stopped them. They took your kid. They took your wife. You had to watch them do it. You had to watch them kill them. And you just had to sit there, tied up. You could have stopped them if you could have just broken free, and normally you'd be able to, but the rope was stronger than usual. Much too tight.
What the fuck is happening?
And you kind of shake off this weird feeling of this weird vision that you didn't participate in. What is happening? Do you have any ranks in knowledge religion?
I'm kind of freaked out. Let me see. Might have to go knock on Galfine's door to see if she can keep me company. I have knowledge.
You technically have ranks in everything, so yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Not great.
You're not exactly sure what could be going on here. You're gonna go over and see Galfine?
Yeah.
Okay. Galfine, you get a knock at your door just as you're getting real comfortable and about to finally catch some Z's.
Galfine, are you there? Are you still awake?
I get up and I go over and I answer the door.
Oh my god, thank God you're awake. I'm so freaked out.
What is it?
I was trying to meditate, but then I had this like real freaky vision where it was like I was in it, but I wasn't in it, and I had a wife, but she was being killed, and then something with the child. I don't know what's happening.
That sounds like a very problematic problem.
Well, it's weird because it was
Gotta
like
stop eating those snacks before bed.
it was like
Too
a
much
nightmare.
kitten jerky before bed.
It was like a nightmare, but I was awake, and it felt like it was me, but it wasn't me. Have you had that before?
No?
What do I do?
You should probably get that checked out.
That's why I came to see you. I thought you'd be helpful.
I'm not an expert on nightmares, but being awake.
Can I stay in your room? I'll bring my pillow and blanket in.
Fine.
Thank you.
All right, so you spend the night with Galfine.
Oh my.
On the
We'll
floor,
be
you
talk.
weirdo.
There will be talk.
Harcourt, are you doing anything before bed?
I am going to. I don't want to say meditate, but I am definitely going to sit and contemplate, see if I can remember Kandor's name.
Okay, go ahead and
I
give
just
me an intel check. You can give me one of these every day until you roll a 20. Yep. Okay. So you did not get it for today. The reason I am making this a 20 is I do realize your character only ever heard Kandor's full name one time.
Yep. That's what I figured. That's why I'm. Figured I'd try it.
All right. Meg, you got anything that you do before bed?
Yeah, I got a ritual. You know, being a good gnome, it's milk and cookies. And, I'll read, maybe do a little journaling.
Okay.
And, make notes about the fish slapping day campaign that I have going.
So this fish slapping day, let's talk about this. If this is a thing that you want your character to be trying to start a movement on, is this you metaphorically trying to slap the face of those that threw you out?
No, I'm just basically just doing it. The character's just doing a bit.
Okay.
I do have ranks in perform comedy, so.
Gotcha. Okay. So this
Yeah.
is a performance thing, and you're kind of using the party as a test for it.
I would say that's a correct assertion. Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
All right. Well, I will tell you what. Give me a performance check to kind of demonstrate you're practicing.
Alright. Huzzah. Okay. Little thing timed out. Hold on.
That's okay. The eternal wait. As Roll20 tries to fix itself. There is a reason for this, by the way. So as you're trying to pull this up, I'll explain. So one of the things that I'm implementing that I've spent a little bit of time on, because it's always kind of bothered me. The more often that you do something, the better you're supposed to get at it, right? But really, that kind of applies in a very specific way. Like when I was learning guitar, like working on one song makes you better at playing that song. It also gradually improves your ability to play other songs, but you become much more skilled at playing that individual song that you're playing. So for every time that you make a successful, that you make a 20 or higher on your practice performance, you'll basically be kind of identifying points during that performance that you could improve the performance. So anytime you're making that live performance, you'll get a +1 bonus for each 20 that you've gotten over the time of practicing it. Does that make sense?
Does.
Okay, so you basically be able to write, like, you write down the name of a bit or you write down the name of a song, and then you'll write, like, +1 when performing that bit. But of course, that will, if you perform a bit too often or you play a song too often, you're going to have the opposite negative of, like, well, suddenly everybody's heard this song 3 million times, and nobody wants to hear Despacito anymore ever again.
Good old Despacito.
While you're pulling that up, I'm going to jump over to Tom real quick.
Okay.
All right.
So what are you doing this evening?
Well, I'm read my law book to calm me down, get me ready for sleep. But I'm gonna find it too riveting and stay up at least an extra hour reading it.
All right. You can actually give me a knowledge law here too if you want to research something specific. This will work kind of the same way that it does with the performances.
Sure. I mean, I'll look at the law about this whole water situation.
Okay.
That's what we're.
Cool.
Since that's what we are currently doing.
Okay, so you kind of study through it. It is very interesting the way that the water has become quite pivotal. There are a lot of, like, it doesn't seem like it would be such an important thing. There's magical water everywhere. This really shouldn't affect anything. However, over the years, they began to notice that, like, you have to control, like, the water that's being given to animals. So Stonefist started creating these policies on, like, you know, how water delivery should function, which is where they created the aqueduct system. But they had a really hard time getting the aqueducts, like, accepted as their own, so they couldn't really build them out. So there's actually the territory where the physical aqueduct infrastructure is considered to be territory of Stonefist. So that whole stretch of aqueduct, but just the physical infrastructure, is considered to be the property of Stonefist. The land beneath it is still whatever the land underneath it is. It creates some very weird repair situations, like when the aqueducts need maintenance. They have to have multiple teams come out and decide, like, who is responsible for the problems that are happening. Did the land cause it? Is it the stones being misshapen? Is it water dropping in places that the water's not supposed to drop?
Sabotage.
Potentially, yes. Can you prove that, like, somebody is intentionally trying to cause problems? There's a lot of laws about this, and it gets kind of confusing as you're reading over it. But it definitely keeps your mind, like, engaged, because the layers that have been produced over time are pretty intense. But over some time, you'll eventually kind of fall asleep with the book on your chest. Were you able to get in, Charles?
I was able to get in. I thought I did the roll. It did not go through.
All right, go ahead and hit it again.
I'm trying to get.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, Pax, when you wake up this morning, for about the first hour of the day, you'll be at a -1 to all rolls for sleeping on the floor. Oh, good.
Aw.
All right. Set aside that routine on, like, write that in your notes. And you are at +1 anytime you perform that routine.
Right, excellent.
Everybody heads down for the morning to the regular breakfast spot, I'm assuming.
Wait,
Yeah, what's up?
yeah. No, we're good.
Okay. And once you arrive, once all of you are seated, the question of the day from the fam hands comes through. They ask, what is your favorite drink?
What is my favorite drink?
Yes.
Oh, definitely that non-magical water that I had earlier, or yesterday.
The tiny
quarter of a
sip.
shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One that helps me forget where I am.
I like pina coladas while dancing in the rain.
I have to correct something there, Pax. You don't know what rain is. It has never rained here.
I like pina coladas while dancing in the sun.
Okay.
Also, what the fuck? Why is there no rain?
If you want to understand that, you'll need to do some research into the magic of what makes this place secure.
But I mean, I wouldn't know what rain is, so
Correct.
it's confusing.
Okay, so so I guess out of character, rain doesn't exist here because there is a barrier that exists over the top of the caldera to stop any material from entering in from the top to below. So there are some substances that can get through if they're allowed based on a certain time.
Like Harcourts.
Yes. Actually, Harcourt shouldn't have been able to fall through. The barrier should have prevented that from happening.
What?
But rain is one of the water is one of the materials that is not allowed through. And actually, Tom, you would know part of why from your book, since it's fresh in your mind. Water is not allowed through because Stonefist might lose market share if all of a sudden anyone could just collect rainwater and purify it.
Whoa.
It's almost taken directly from the Nestle playbook.
Mm-hmm.
Nestle believes all water should be a commodity and is taking steps to make so.
Yep.
Fascinating. My drink of choice is strawberry milkshake.
Okay. Delicious choice.
Ew, ice cream. Disgusting.
It's very hard to get ice cream, but it's well worth it when you can.
All right, Gelfine, what about you?
I don't have a favorite.
All right. Anybody else got any questions they want to ask the rest of the party?
Sure.
Remember, they're worth 25. They're worth, what was it? 50 experience asked, 25 experience answered.
So if I found us some tarantulas to eat, would you guys try that?
No.
Cooked in a nice white wine sauce? Sure, why not?
Yes, I would eat them.
Are they dead?
Yeah, I mean, they'll be, like, alive when I cook them.
Will they be
and the
dead when we
process-
eat them?
Yes, the process of cooking them, they will be recently deceased.
Although Zug, I'm pretty sure you've eaten some of them live before too, from time to time.
Oh, definitely. But Harcourt was talking about the wine sauce,
Okay.
so I figured that's how I'd prepare them.
All right, so each of you get 25 experience for answering the question, and Zug, you gain 50 for asking it. Anybody else got any questions?
Mm-hmm.
What do you got?
What's your favorite outfit to wear that makes you feel good about yourself?
It's kind of a double question. I got a favorite outfit, obviously, but not one that makes me feel good about myself.
Then what's your favorite about it?
Mine. And it has my name on it.
What is it? What's the outfit?
I
Don't have it anymore.
don't have it. I haven't got it yet, but I haven't have it anymore.
Oh yes, that outfit.
I used to have it, but I haven't got it yet.
You used to have it in the future.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
What
it's a good
that
outfit.
invisible voice that we can't hear said. It was beautiful. Bright orange, or it will be bright orange. Lovely bright green trim, and my name emblazoned across the back. Or at least it will be. Should. If we can somehow figure out how to get that guy to give us clothes again. Or for the first time. Or both.
Yes, that clothing sounds magnificent.
It was amazing clothing! And
Oh
mine
my
was
Lord.
free. That was the best part. Or will be free. Mine will be free.
I did not expect such an exuberant response from you, Harcourt.
You didn't exist. Whoa. Who took Pax and replaced her with an exact copy?
What?
Did not expect an exuberant response from Harcourt the Magnificent.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like with a name like Hardcore the Magnificent, if there isn't an exuberant response, you're really not living up to the magnificent
Pretty
Numdigar.
much, you know?
Yeah.
Probably because she doesn't spell Jamie with a Q either. But that's okay, I understand. So, there's your quasi question answered or not answered.
In between you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I would say half experience points for that.
No, he'll get full experience points for it. Alright, the rest of you?
Well, it's not so much a favorite outfit as it is a favorite accessory. And I pull out my necklace of kitten ears.
Oh,
That
they're
did
so
not
furry,
answer the
can I pet them?
question. That
Can I
did not
pet the
answer the
kittens?
question.
I mean, it kind of did. Anytime he's wearing it, he's happy.
It's not an outfit. What are you walking around naked?
He's
Well,
a
it-
goblin,
It goes with anything.
including nudity.
Just not make it an outfit.
Well, I mean, when I go to sleep, I'm only wearing the necklace.
TMI, moving on, Meg.
There are certain raiments that come with my religious order that are particularly fantastic, and we wear them on high holidays, and those are have very nice, nice memories assumed with them as a member of an order, and then they look quite sharp,
Oh,
but they are not particularly practical.
speaking of that, by the way, since you previously lost your the ones that you had in the GPPF, they reclaim them. You can go back to one of the other houses and claim a new set.
Okay, thank you.
You'll have to make a trek during one of the holidays. I'll get you a list of the days when those holidays are occurring, and I'll make sure I get them put on the calendar.
Hi, thank you.
You're welcome.
So yeah, those clerical little C raiments can be quite snazzy. I enjoy them.
If there's something wrong with that, be a clerical error.
Well done.
Galfine, you got an answer to the question?
Armor.
Whatever, punch Harcourt in the face.
I punch Harcourt in the face.
I have this armor that has spikes on it, and sometimes when I put it on, I don't stab myself.
Well, then you probably should wear it with the spikes on the inside if you'd like to stab yourself more frequently.
Anybody else got any other questions?
I didn't get to answer yet.
Oh, yes, you're correct.
Well, it's hard to choose because I have a lot of favorite outfits. But I have a dress that is tie-dye of purple and turquoise, and it is very pretty, and it has pockets in it, which are very helpful.
All right.
Excellent.
Any further questions?
guess I would like to ask,
Mm-hmm.
why do you like ice cream, and why or why not? Because I want to know now.
No, it is the most disgusting substance known to man and
Disgusting
goblin.
substance.
Didn't we talk about ice cream already?
Well, we said what is your favorite flavor, I think was the question before.
Yeah, and then Zug said he hates ice cream. And so Meg is trying to identify why it is that Zug doesn't like ice cream.
Because it's not made of kitten. That's what I'm assuming, since you can't milk a kitten.
No, you could make it out of kitten jerky, though.
Hey, there we go. Zug, you heard it. She just gave us permission to make kitten jerky.
All right.
Kitten jerky ice cream.
But you gotta make the jerky first.
That is ice cream I would be willing to try.
Oh dear, what did I get myself into?
I prefer a fruity ice cream like a strawberry or do they have mangoes here, Steve?
They do. Well, they don't have. Yes, actually, they do have mangoes technically.
Okay. Or a mango, almost bordering on a sorbet. They're very light but fun. And make good milkshakes.
Any kittens roaming around?
Not around here. Kittens are very expensive. If you wanted to find kittens, you'd have to go into a part of the city that has like people with money.
Okay.
Kittens can sense your overwhelming hunger for them.
House Ruxpin has House Resix though has some of the most delicious kittens because they're like free range kittens.
Oh man.
Our kittens are lovingly fed only the choicest morsels. Therefore, your
drooling.
dining experience is tender. They are not allowed to. They have them hanging from the ceiling like Kobe beef.
Well, no. Okay, so Resix doesn't actually sell kitten meat. There are lots of cats around to deal with the rodents that are in the area. So by free range kittens, I mean that like it's a regular thing for goblins to sometimes be found in Resix territory, scooping up cats and running away with them. Which is where a large part of the kitten jerky comes from.
How do you know if it's cat jerky or kitten jerky?
The
It seems like a market.
the size of the
What's-
cat. The size of the cat tells you.
I feel like there's probably a lot of chicanery in that market.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
certainly. I mean, it's goblins running the market too, so of course there's going to be a lot of. Oh yes, we have only the finest kittens.
Yeah, and hey, I can tell the difference from taste.
I believe this is a downtime thing that I, as a gnome, am both appalled and fascinated by. And now want to oh really? We shall have to determine this with some blindfolds and various jerked meats.
Alright, well, just don't jerk the meats in public. That's all I ask.
All right.
At least not
Fair
your
enough.
own.
Alright, so Charles, what was the structure of your question? Because I've forgotten the structure of it.
Why do you like ice cream? Basically, is the question.
Okay. Alright, so to the other three of you that have not yet answered.
It's nice and creamy and cold. So
Nice.
both parts, the icy part and the creamy part, I like.
All having ice cream. So I will go with yes, I like it. So apparently everybody with Zug likes it, and he obviously doesn't like it because it's not kitten flavor.
And Galfine, how about you? Why do you like ice cream? Shrug. Alright.
It tastes
gives-
alright.
Gives her the ability to shrug her shoulders.
I think that answer was, what is ice cream?
Maybe that's what Galfine's missing. Maybe Galfine just needs to have some ice cream.
Oh my gosh. We'll take you to the ye old cold stony cream of rye.
Well, why does Meg like ice cream so much?
I like it. Oh, I like ice cream because it is cold and sweet, and you can use it, to kind of numb your mouth when it's sore. And with the fruit flavor, sometimes there's pieces of fruit in it. And it's a good treat that my mother would give me when we were, out on the town in a day's adventure and things weren't too tight. We might have a little bit of the ice cream. And so it does seem to be, because I assume like in the real world, ice cream is a status thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it is very much felt like we were hobnobbing with the hoi polloi,
Mm-hmm.
to have a little bit of ice cream. So there's some lovely memories there too.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard tale of the famous dwarf Grog and his love of mutton flavored ice cream.
Yep. Before his untimely demise.
Yep. To Barghast, I think.
No, I don't.
Barghast?
Actually, yes. Maybe he was in the party that died to the Barghast. I don't remember.
An ice cream that just sounds like you're going to get that disease that, what is it? It's a form of arthritis that's triggered by overconsumption of protein. King Henry VIII had it. What was that?
Yeah, that's the. I don't remember what it's called, but I was having a conversation about this because I was trying to explain to somebody why there's two reasons keto can be dangerous, and I was trying to explain because protein can kill you, and they were like, no, lots of people have lots of protein, and I'm like, and there are a number of people that die from it, or at least get very, very sick.
I feel like if he hadn't died from a Barghast, he would eventually have succumbed to that from eating mutton ice cream.
To protein poisoning.
I don't know. He had already gained immunity to multiple types of poisons. So.
Oh yeah, I do remember that part too. He was he had pissed off somebody, and they were repeatedly trying to poison him. And he had consumed so much of a certain type of poison that he was not affected by the poison anymore.
Iocane powder. It's so easy to develop a resistance to it.
I think it was spider venom actually. But anybody else got any questions?
Smearing himself with fly ointment to get bit by spiders. Build up a tolerance.
All right, so I think that does it for the questions. So,
how many XP do we get?
Each of you that asked a question gets 50, and each of you that answered each question gets 25 for each question they answered.
How many
Nice.
questions did I answer?
You answered one from Zug, one from Harcourt, and one from Meg. So 3.
I get 125 points?
Yes.
It's quality
Okay, so
there.
do I level up now?
No. Right now you are at, if you're properly tracking your XPs, I'll look at your sheet here, and you are at... Okay.
I'm at 3346 once I added that.
Yep, so you need 5,000 to level.
I thought that was just like a suggestion.
Wow.
What? You have flexibility. We know there's always a little wiggle room, right?
Alright, so once you finish up breakfast, what's the plan?
We got the day off then?
No, at this point... at this point, I mean, you could take the day off, but you only have 2 more days to finish this mission.
Well, yeah, also today we have to go meet with the dudes before Second Sun's done, half hour before it.
Yep.
Right? That's today.
That is correct.
So, yeah, before Second's done, half hour before Second Sundown. And we will fill out this contract and meet up with the dude.
Okay, so do you want to fill out the document now, or do you want to wait to fill it out?
Get that thing done now, right?
Yeah, I checked before, and it seemed like it was fine. So yeah, I'll
Alright, give me a knowledge
fill it
law.
out right now at dinner here or breakfast. All right.
And anybody else with knowledge law can attempt to assist, to aid him. If you hit a 15, you give him +2, which it looks like he's going to need.
Hold on, I'm coming.
Give him bardic inspiration.
How do I do that?
You have to have that ability, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh wait, maybe I have that. Hold on. Let's.
You don't yet. You have the one that gives everybody attack bonuses. It's level 3 that you get Bardic Inspiration.
You can attack the form.
Okay, well that's good. That's almost good enough. All right, so you fill out the form to the best of your ability. This form is deliberately more complicated because it starts asking you about like, did you fill out form blah blah blah, and you're wondering like, do I need form blah blah blah? Is this like an important part? So you say no, but then like you get to another part where it specifically asks what you said. Let me see if it's relevant here. Hold on. I don't think it is, but I will let you know in a second.
Ooh, or can I put the form in a daze?
No, that's no. No, so you would need, in order to do what you would need to, you'd need Inspire Competence, which is what you get at Bard level 3.
Yeah.
And that lets you give somebody a +2 bonus to a skill check. As long as you're
she should
performing.
have leveled up.
No, she should not have leveled up. She'll level up when she levels up. But you're pretty sure you filled out the form well enough.
Alright, hold up. Let's ask more questions until she levels up.
It does not work that way.
That way we can get this competence bonus.
Alright, so what are you guys doing in the meantime?
Do I have time to go to and get my raiments? I forgot where you said I could go.
You'll need to get them on a holiday. So you can...
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah.
My.
That's okay.
Okay.
You can go a few days before a holiday. I don't have any of the holidays listed up yet. I've still been working on filling out my Pantheon stuff. Because a lot of that stuff got lost in a transition.
Well, until then, real life holidays are going to have to count, and then he gets it right now.
I see.
Yes, his Mother's Day raiments. I'll tell you what. You know what? I'll allow that. We're gonna put Mother's Day on the calendar for this day officially, and you can go get yourself some Mother's Day attire fabricated.
It's covered in butterflies and flowers and little pictures of kids' hands.
Oh, good God. Wait till Father's Day raiments where it's just the most disappointing raiments you've ever gotten. Maybe I'll get it. Maybe it'll be a raiment with a card that says, I heard you like to barbecue. Oh, God.
No. It's just going to be a huge tie.
That's
all the arraignment's going to be. It's just going to be an oversized tie.
I would like that.
oh, God.
All right, so we officially added a holiday to the calendar. To color this in holiday color. There we go.
Called Designated Maternal Parental Unit Day.
I mean, you can refer to it as maternal parental unit day. Designated maternal parental unit day. All right, so you go out and you get your robes, which are in a let's see. You are a follower of Sashat, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so these robes would be a soft, very very soft kind of lavenderish color.
Oh, fantastic!
With like blue highlights around the wrists and where the what do you call it? Is it lapel? That's what these are?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm certainly going to enjoy wearing them.
But it's what is are they lapels on a robe? Because it would be basically like what you get is you get a well decorated robe, like not a shower robe, like a wizard's robe or like a cleric's robe.
Or a cleric's robe?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's an open robe, yeah, you would have that, or you could just have one that you toss over your head, depending on the type of. Most clerical raiments, actually, too much time spent playing clerics are usually pull over your head kind of deals, so they wouldn't necessarily have it. But for fancier days, you might have something that belted
Yeah, so most of the robes that you're going to have as a cleric in my world are the kinds that either hang, they go over both arms, they hang over your shoulder, and they're open in the front. You can choose to tie them off if you want, but sashing them is not normally the procedure. Normally, for many clerics, if you're having a holy day, you'll wear a shirt that will show like either a necklace with your god's symbol on it, or you'll have something that's like got a woven symbol of your god on your chest, so that the robe being open like makes it so the holy symbol is cleared, is like clearly visible. And then there's always an etched, a golden etched holy symbol on the back of your robe, unless you happen to be a follower of Ryoshin, in which case it is a red and slightly burning symbol on the back of your robe.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Come
So
back to the place with my newfangled robes.
yep, they are a little bit big. They tell you that they'll make sure by next year you can get them cinched up so they're the right size. And they advise you for the upcoming Father's Day holiday that you come back ahead of time and make sure you get your proper sizing done then.
Okay, yeah, because we want to come back and get those high quality Father's Day robes.
All right, so Meg comes back looking pretty sharp. What are the rest of you doing?
How much time do we have before?
A couple hours before before you guys have to head down there. It'll take about a little over an hour to get down that way. Since you have to head, basically all the way down to. So you're looking at about half a mile to there, then about you got about 8 miles of travel if you take the main roads.
A lot of walking.
I just think
You could always buy a vehicle if you guys wanted
sprig
that.
of snake in our boots.
A snake in your boots? What?
If you put a sprig of sage in your boots, you'll have what is the line? You'll have fresh smelling feet and a step of herb or something like that. It's a Martin Prince line from The Simpsons.
Oh.
When is a mango
Or a
break time?
blister.
Actually, well, we're running kind of late here. I guess let's take a couple of minutes break real quick.
Okay.
I do need to run to the restroom, so we will be right back.
All right.
I will also use
All right, and we're back.
And we're back.
James has watermelon, and I have mango.
Barely.
Mine is watermelon flavored mango.
That sounds disgusting.
That's baffling my mind.
It's
right
better than mango flavored watermelon.
Wrong. Mango flavored watermelon would be way better. Just massive mangoes. All right.
What? These are weird photos.
So, yeah. So you guys want to walk your way down there?
Oh, I thought I was gonna see if I could do something.
Okay. What do you want to do?
So the werewolves last time I was with them said that they would make me something as long as I brought them the materials.
Yes.
Do I know what those materials are?
Whatever you would want to use as the materials for what you'd want them to make. So you would decide what you want to make and then what materials.
Bring them mango and watermelon.
So if you had metals you wanted to specifically use, or if you had like fabrics you wanted them specifically to use, you would bring them to them and they would manufacture whatever it is. And if you don't know exactly what you need, you can always go there and ask them.
And I just find a shop to buy these materials at.
Yeah. You can either go to the metallurgist in Goblin territory, or you can pay an upcharge to buy like other materials here in the unaligned territory. But it's a pretty sizable upcharge to buy like metals not from the metallurgist. The metallurgist, though, is one of the few places that you are allowed to go in Goblin territory. Because it's literally right off the road. Like, the road has a little branch that goes into the metallurgist building. And being orphaned does not restrict you from having access to the metallurgist. Did you want to go there before the thing, or?
Sure. I'll go there and at least check prices on things.
Okay. There are a wide variety of materials, a wide variety of metals that they have here. Iron is relatively inexpensive. Let's see here. So if you wanted to have something made, if you wanted to buy enough iron, God, that's way too much. That's in pounds. That's in thousands of pounds. So you could do, if you want to do iron, you could buy iron in like, it would cost you a couple hundred gold, or not a couple hundred gold, a couple of gold to get enough iron to make like a weapon. Essentially, if anything that you would want made that's out of normal materials, you would pay about half the price for those materials. So you would pay half whatever the cost is of whatever item you want them to make for anything made out of regular iron. If you wanted to have something made out of special materials, you would pay 2/3 the price. So what they have here is they have like adamantine. Adamantine is very, very strong. It's very dense metal. That is very easy to file down to a nice like sharp edge or point, and you can get it to such a sharpness that it is as good as using a magical weapon. And if you happen to make armor out of it, it is armor that is hard to penetrate, so it gives you effectively damage reduction. They also have silver. They have some. They have bronze if you wanted something a little more shiny, but bronze is a lot weaker. in material. You could have it made out of silver. You could also have it made out of gold, but then of course it's not going to be as sturdy as well, because gold is a much softer metal. You could have it made out of cold iron, which is particularly good against demons if you felt like you were having issues with demons. Or if you wanted to go slay all the dryads.
Having issues with demons.
If you wanted to kill all the dryads, that's another good option. There is mithril as well. Mithril is a very lightweight metal, so if you wanted to have armor that was much easier to wear or much lighter to have to move around in, mithril is the way to do it. You can also have weapons made out of mithril, but it doesn't really provide a significant benefit to do that. And I think... Oh no, here it is. Is this... Yeah, so you could also get it made out of something called living steel. So living steel is basically like a combination of metal and wood. Living steel is like a material that you can kind of drop it in water and it will regrow over time. There is a big dispute over who owns rights to living steel, as it both has fundamental tree properties, which have innately been tracked back to the Dryad family, but there is a weird outcropping of the plant that exists in Goblin territory, and as it is also technically a metal in nature, living steel can be bought in either the Dryad territory or from the Goblin territory.
Is there any perks or drawbacks to stuff being made out of that?
So one of the perks is if by chance like you were a Dryad or you were some other like nature spellcaster that could only use non-metal weapons. This technically doesn't count as metal for the purposes of for the purposes of using it in those situations, because it is technically like as you get closer to the metal, they're very careful about letting you see it as you ask more questions, but they will bring a little bit of it forward. You can see that like the metal is like it's almost like it's woven into the very plant itself. It's very hard to tell, and you'd have to get like rather close to see exactly how. But there are vines that wrap to make the long sheets of it that they have laid out. It almost looks like somebody's dropped down, like metal bars, but the metal bars are made up of vines instead of being made up of the solid, smooth metal surface you might be used to seeing. It's entirely plant in nature, except for the strands of metal that exist within them.
And you'll need a lot of water.
Mm-hmm. Your grandpa knows about that.
I've heard stories.
Well, technically your brother heard stories that made it to your head.
I said they were stories.
And I think that is all they're willing to offer you. Oh no, they do have one more. I knew it was somewhere in here. So they also have something that they bring out to you that they keep in a very thick wooden box. And when they open it, they tell you need to take about 20 steps back. Do you take them back?
Yeah.
They slowly open the box, and you notice there's a metal on the inside that lines the container, and the material on the inside glows out of it. This is Viridium. It's very bad. Don't touch it. Especially don't let it break off in you. You'll get very sick. Very, very sick. In fact, I'm not feeling so good right now. And he slams the box shut. But you can put it away in the right way, and it won't have a big effect on you. It's usually used with arrows because you can fire off an arrow, it gets stuck, and they get really sick. But yeah, so those are some of the materials that they have. Adamantine is the most expensive, followed by mithril. And then the living steel.
How much is the adamantine?
So adamantine, depending upon how you want to use it, buying just the metal depends on what you want to buy. For light armor, it'd be about 3,000 gold. For medium armor, it would be about let me make sure I'm doing this math right. About 6,000 gold. For heavy armor, it would be about 12,000 gold. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It'd be about 9,000 gold. And if you wanted to have it applied to a weapon, it would be about 2,000 gold. So it is.
What kind of armor do I usually use?
Right now, you are still like you're used to wearing when you were doing your workout on the field back in the Rurik days. You were wearing breastplate as a field soldier. That was the regular armor they would give you. So right now, you are presently wearing breastplate. You're familiar, like during your training, you were taught how to wear a set of like full plate armor, and told that one day, if ever like things fell apart, they would make sure you were fitted so that you could truly fight on the front lines. So you're familiar with how to operate and how to fight in full plate mail, but breastplate's what you've worn for the better part of your time. And breastplate is heavy armor. Breastplate is medium armor, so that would cost you about 6,000, and full plate would be the one that's heavy armor, so that would cost you about the 12 or the 9.
How much is a platinum?
That'd be 900 platinum, or 6,000 platinum, or 600 platinum, respectively. Just divide it by 10. So you don't have to use it right now. The offer always stands if you wanted to earn more money and work towards that as a goal.
Yeah, I just wanted to see about pricing and stuff.
Okay. So one thing also that we didn't talk about when you bought your breastplate, the breastplate you're currently wearing, if you had interest in doing this, you can go back and decide to do this. They sell piecemeal parts of like building to your own full set of plate mail. So you could have also bought adaptive breastplate, which over time, like you can start buying the other pieces for, and they will once you've acquired all the pieces, they will turn into a full assortment of full plate armor. It would cost an extra 50 gold to do that, and then you can kind of like make small periodic investments towards your full plate. It comes with a stand that you can put the armor on as you're putting it together. But I mean, if you're thinking about getting breastplate out of, or if you're thinking about getting full plate out of another material, that's not necessarily a good investment to spend that extra gold. So you can decide for yourself if you wanted to spend that money. If you don't, that's fine. If you do, just take it off your character sheet and change your breastplate to be adaptive.
I think we'll just stick with what I've got.
Okay. Do you have anything that you wanted to purchase from here while you're here?
No, I think I'll just head back.
Alright, you meet back up with the party.
I got an out of character question about some of the stuff there.
Yeah.
So, like, how would you properly store a Viridian arrow?
You either need to encase it in lead or extra-dimensional space. So you can buy the...
something like an efficient, efficient quiver? Or
Yes.
like a Triple H backpack?
Exactly. And it can be dangerous to put in a Triple H backpack because the backpack technically has the rules of both a backpack and extra-dimensional space. So if you're not careful putting the arrows in the backpack, you can actually inadvertently pierce the backpack from the inside.
Alright, cool. Because that could be relevant for my other character.
Yes. Alright, so you guys head on to your meeting with Ingen, if nobody has anything else they wanted to do. Alright, you get there, and let's see if 10 was enough that you could pass under most normal circumstances, unless you just get unlucky and get the worst person to be working
Well,
there.
I got a 12 though because I got the assist from...
15
Pax,
is what it requires for an assist.
right? Okay.
However, you are in luck. The worst of the people is not there. They read through the form. They're a little disappointed by how you've just barely managed to meet the minimum requirements, and they have to make some minor changes to it. But they tell you go through that door over there, go through that door, turn left, turn right, turn left, turn right, and you'll see the room. It'll have his name on it. You walk inside. You need to make sure you walk inside with your form. Give the form to his secretary, and he'll ask you to come in when it's your time.
Cool.
All right. Give me a survival to navigate the hallways.
Sorry, stuff is freezing up. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay.
Nope, I don't survive the whole.
Okay. Galfine, however, does. Galfine, you start noticing that the first thing that happens when you get in here is, she said left, right, and it's you enter into a room that has a hallway with 6 directions. So which left? So you spend a little bit of time navigating the area, and finally you're this that left like this, right like this, left like this, and you manage to kind of zigzag your way across. It's very weird, but you think that from the looks of things, every room looks like it's been cut out like a slice of pie as well. The hallways seem to cross into each other so that multiple intersections hit each other, perhaps for efficiency's sake. But you finally make your way to Ingen's door. It is a large oak door with a small glass pane on it that is frosted, and it has on it Ingen Stonefist, and beneath it Geologist.
Is it in air quotes?
Nope. You head on in, and as they said, there's a halfling woman seated at the desk that is working on some papers. She looks up to you for a moment. You got your document?
Yep.
She looks it over. All right, this'll do. Have yourself a seat.
All right.
She's waving her hands in the air at a box in front of her. And she does this for a little while, and then after a few minutes, Ingen comes out. Ingen is a rather tall-looking person, but he's quite wide, almost dwarven levels of wide. But he's far too tall to be dwarven. His facial hair, though, is also made up in such a way that it doesn't seem humanoid in origin or human in origin. It seems more dwarven. It's very long. It's very well taken care of. It's very dark in tone. His facial features are very chiseled. His hair is long and flowing and tied back into a very taut ponytail that runs down the center of his back to about the half height of his back. And he's dressed in a very clean, set of black robes, with a white undershirt, with the Stonefist family insignia on it, and a pair of black pants. He has a thin pair of spectacles on his face, and he reaches down and he picks up the sheet. Your extra peaceful, intelligent children, is that correct?
Yep.
Yep.
You don't look like children. And you're here about geological water complications.
Mm-hmm.
What are your issues that you're having with water conditions? Presently, everything was in good working order last I had checked.
We are curious about the placement of another water source just slightly further up towards the source from Premier Water.
Yes. It's a very, very excellent happenstance that happened. They found themselves quite a gold mine, one might say. Really, we should probably call it like a silver mine. Everything about the formation checked out from everything that I could identify. There was a bit of overtime fracturing. There's probably a little bit of cleanliness issues with Premier going up there and trying to keep their tunnelways too clean. I mean, if they cause crackage, that's really not on anybody else. The regular geological running, along with the the work they were doing on the tunneling system. I was easily able to identify that this was very clearly not something where somebody was attempting any ill will in the situation. Are you part of the Stonefist Guard? You definitely don't seem it.
We are working in conjunction with several organizations to figure out a dispute between House Blade and House Stonefist.
Oh. Is Charles at his old dealings again?
I don't know what is Charles's old dealings.
Every time Charles has money problems, suddenly his customers seem to have delivery problems.
Do you care to elaborate?
So, this happened a little while back, and this was less in the delivery side and more in the geological side. There was a blasting error that occurred, and Charles was attempting to put it on a consulting agency that he had been working with for some time. Charles had claimed that there was a specific blasting point that was his. He had someone come out and improve that blasting point. That blasting point was then off where it was supposed to be. He blamed the company blamed him. He refused payment. We've had a number of similar instances with delivery issues, with quality control issues, where water... He was claiming there were sediment issues in the water. People were claiming they were getting lower quality water. We tested the area. There were no signs of any deterioration, any signs of sediment in the water, but there was definitely a quality issue. And he broke a contract based on the person refusing to buy the water that was below conditional value. He, of course, benefited because breaking the contract was cheaper than continue to supply the water at such a significantly discounted rate.
I'd like to sense motive.
Yep, this all sounds perfectly normal.
That's up. Oh.
In fact, it sounds like Charles and he are best of friends.
Yes.
I'm gonna go. I'll be back later. Can you just not lock those doors? Because I don't know where my keys are. I use them to get in the house, but I don't know where they went.
Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't see your sense motive there, James. So the stories he's telling sound pretty factual. The sediment thing sounds a little bit off because if he's talking about how there was like deterioration that inevitably caused cracking, that would make sense as far as like sedimentary issues. So that part kind of doesn't check out with the if he's going to claim that there was potential deterioration, but now he's saying like there's no way there could have been sediment. That doesn't make sense. And then misblasting sounds like it would also fall into causing some damage. So why shove that off as well?
Sounds like this guy's causing his own problems, and therefore he's trying to get people to pay more for what he's offering, huh?
Exactly. If he would just run his ship a little bit tighter, these problems wouldn't happen. He could just charge the price he wanted to charge instead of offering people discounts up front and then trying to make different deals with them later on.
Okay. You got anything, Zog?
No, I mean, pretty much, everything this person's saying sounds accurate to me, so I'm pretty much under the assumption that this is our answer, you know?
Yep.
We're still gonna want to check out, you know, the ambush area, but, I'd say that this is, yeah.
Yeah, we just need to connect those to the Stone Fist.
I'm assuming you're having this conversation not in his office?
Yes.
Yeah, well, because the question was, do I have any questions? My answer is no.
Yeah.
And then we go out and talk about it.
Before you leave, Meg. Are you there, Meg? Charles? Uh-oh. Did Charles step away? I didn't... That could be what that... It's like
Here.
Oh, okay. Sorry. As the rest of you are leaving, he gestures, you, Shishat cleric. Do you have a moment? If you're saying anything, I can't hear you.
Who's it for?
This is Charles, or this is Ingen. He's asking. He's got a question for Meg.
Oh, okay. I spaced there. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Do I have a mother? Was that correct? What was the question again, Steve?
No, he hasn't asked the question yet. He's asking Meg if he can ask her something.
Well, certainly. Fire away.
I have a confession to Shishat I wish to make. Do you have a moment that you could speak with me and offer my truth to her?
Certainly would be glad to.
Okay. So he guides you into his office for a moment, and closes the door. So in Shishat's in the religion so part of one of the tenets of Shishat is if you're a follower of Shishat, there is the idea of open information, and when there's information that you feel shouldn't be a secret, but you can't disclose that information to the people directly that need to have it, you share it with a cleric of Shishat, and then you would then, as the cleric, pray and offer that information to Shishat herself. And when you offer that information, the idea is that somehow Shishat will make that information known to the people who need to know it. So he explains to you this weird geological formation problem that's happening in the Goblin territory that he has notified several people about, and no one seems to be listening to his pleas. And he seems very, like... Oh, give me a sense motive here, if you can.
The answer is it's a Shuggoth nest.
Shuggoths.
Okay, so yeah, you get the, like, there's a deep amount of distress in him as he's, like, explaining this to you. There seems to be something that's, like, pushing him stronger than you know, normally might be discussed for somebody who is in Stonefist territory, talking about goings-on in Goblin territory.
Okay.
If you please just offer that to her, I do hope that she'll make sure the information finds its way to where it needs to go.
Hmm. I will. And why does this information trouble you?
This is not the time to speak of it. If you can meet me tomorrow in the evening at Teddy's, I would be happy to discuss more of it with you.
Yes, I will be interested.
Thank you. Okay, and then you can head on your way.
Right. Excellent.
All right, so this is where we're going to pause for the evening.
Right.
So good job, guys. That is a lot of good progress. Let me see if I can find what I was looking for a second ago.
How many more days did we have before we had to have this done?
You still have the rest of this day, and then tomorrow, and the full day tomorrow.
Okay.
I think we got it. Fairly certain we're gonna get jumped.
Yep.
But all we need is proof. If we can identify or get one of these, if we can find one of the attackers, somehow get them to confess. At least that they're working for Stonefist.
Yeah, or find something on their bodies, or
Yeah.
Okay.
and at the very least, I mean, we could
This will be a done deal.
let the Blade dude know this person's name and what they said.
Yeah.
Probably will have the obligatory tattoo that, although obscured, is so weird that you'll be able to trace it back to its original person and expose everyone.
It'll be
Well,
a tattoo with all the information they need.
probably more one of those ID cards.
Conveniently, he had his full name, address, and why he was attacking us tattooed on the back of his hand.
Okay, so let's see here. I was trying to find this. All right, so I'm going to be using a bit of the second edition rules for when I talked about ending the night by giving you guys experience. I'm going to be using a bit of the second edition rules for assigning experience. Not the ones where like thieves get experience equal to the gold value they've stolen. But there are some aspects of it that I really liked. I'd heard about this a while ago, and I've tried to emulate this a few times, but I didn't know where it originally came from. So another campaign I was watching, actually, they used the system, and some of it I really liked. So the first of the things that I've already done is the role-playing bonus. Everybody get 100 XP for role-playing.
Right.
Are you giving us more so like we should keep a tally?
There's going to be more experience. So if you want to keep a tally on it for yourself individually, that's fine. You can open up like a calculator and start tabulating it in.
Yep, that's what I've been doing.
All right, so the next thing is clever idea, and nothing significant stuck out to me here. But does anybody else feel like anybody else had a clever idea? This is kind of going to be like a submit somebody else's things that happened for them to potentially get the reward.
You can't submit yourself?
You cannot submit yourself. Somebody else. Well, if you think you had a particularly clever idea, you can state it.
I think Meg's idea about the fish slapping day was hilarious.
Oh, I think that was awesome. That was incredibly clever.
You know,
I'll go buy fish slapping gloves.
I'm gonna give it to you because we actually had a conversation about it. Go ahead and have 50 experience from that.
Yeah. All right.
There were no ideas. Some other things are player has an idea that saves the party. Nothing here saved the party. Nobody was in any danger. So here's one of the most important ones though that I want to point out. And this I actually want to give an award to Whitney for earlier in the game. Player encourages others to participate.
Ah, nice.
So Whitney, you actively brought Galfine into a role-playing experience. So that is worth 100 XP for you. Anybody got any other things they can think of for maybe a clever idea?
Nothing. Got nothing.
Okay. Charles, for practicing your routine, I'm going to give you 10 XP there as well. Same to you, Tom.
Hi.
And then another 25 to you, Charles, for being willing to listen to the geologist thing and accepting the meeting with him later on at Teddy's.
Cool.
James, another 25 to you as well, for trying to remember Kandor's name, having that idea. And does anybody else have anything that they can think of that maybe I'm forgetting? Okay. Then this
me and James were pretty, I think, pretty good at asking questions to advance this stuff.
Yeah.
James, nobody else was really asking anything.
I'll
trying to do anything for the quest.
I'll give the two of you 50 extra XP. Because you did push pretty, you were pushing pretty hard. One of the things that I do want to try to avoid is I want to try to avoid too many people trying to overspotlight, which is why I really want to focus on making sure that the player encourages others to participate award is there. It can be hard to kind of find situations where that's important, but I do want to want everybody to kind of realize your party and your dynamic can work together really well. If you're working it that way. So I'm gonna give you guys this for the push, but don't expect that all the time because there may be some situations where that push is actually just what's required to keep the story moving, and that doesn't necessarily count as taking extra action. If that makes sense, you get what I'm saying?
I got it.
Okay. All right then. We should wrap up so that people can get to bed. We are on for next week that I know of. Does anybody have any reason we would not be?
I may not be home by that. I am going out of town.
Okay.
So I may or may not.
This your annual long road trip?
Yes. It's that time of year.
Yep. I'll have a safe trip.
Where are you going?
We're going to Nashville, Indiana.
What?
Nashville, Indiana.
Tennessee was too expensive, so he's going to budget Nashville.
I was just thinking that too. all the tourist attractions of Nashville with none of the quality.
Go to Google Earth and look up Nashville, Indiana. It points you to Nashville, Tennessee.
Does it really?
Yeah, it did. Then when I was looking at it in VR.
I got it. Go ahead.
Then I was looking at an address that we're going to in there, and that showed me proper, but I was trying to find Nashville proper that it showed me earlier. I'm like, where the fuck is this river?
Oh, that's awesome.
This has one of the weirdest, like, property lines I've seen. You have, like, the area that's the city proper. Then there's a stretch of this road 135th, or 135, that just stretches down, and they own that. And then there's, like, another segment that they just happen to own. And then out in the middle of nowhere, there's just, like, some extra random stuff that's technically part of the town as well. Very weird.
Michelle,
Huh.
what's the lotion? You never sent it to me, and you're gonna be here next weekend.
Oh.
Text me.
Right, I guess.
Thank you.
I'll give you a hint. The lotion is made with
Wait.
immature felines.
I can't see that, yo. Text me a photo.
Take a picture of it,
Okay.
Say yo.
and then send it to her.
The late 90s called.
They want their yo back.
They want their yo back.
Well, I was alive in the late 90s, so I'm keeping it.
Yocean Labs. Lotion, yeah, rap.
What?
That was a show on MTV. Yo, MTV Raps. It was really bad.
It was.
Yes.
I think it's time to say goodnight.
It is. James,
Yes.
if you're interested, by the way, the invitation to the other campaign is available. But right now, the tentative date for it is Thursday. Charles, that's why I haven't extended the invitation to you.
I appreciate it. Yes.
It's going to be a far more combat intensive game. But the premise behind it is that you are a member of the RA4 military. So there is another Harvest that you would have an opportunity to play if you played in that game.
Carver.
So
Oh, wait, no, Christoph.
Christoph. Yep. So if you wanted to, that is there. It would be in the evening. We'd probably wrap up about 10, but we would likely start a little bit earlier. But we don't have a start date for it yet. It is still in the kind of planning stages.
Okay.
I'll put the link to it in the Akunsant campaign stuff, so you can see the details.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
All right. Then
Everybody have a good night.
you too.
See ya.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.